Fans from all around the globe. This is East Coast Sports Investors Closing Bell for Tuesday, June 27th. I am your solo host for this afternoon, evening, Riley Magnuson. Going to be rocking right through this evening baseball slate in the MLB. Evening, everybody in the comment section. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you, Connor, for stopping by as always. Not too much to recap. We had obviously the golf tournament over the past weekend. But we did not have a show yesterday. Only 6 MLB games yesterday. Florida Gators get the College World Series crown. Had been an awesome College World Series and college playoff all the way up until the last couple of days. A couple of blowouts, but very deserving there. SEC team getting the crown there, but it had been an exciting ride. So glad to have been able to witness that ride as far as the College World Series is concerned. But we move on, and we've got nothing but baseball, so probably going to be lightning speeds. We've got a big slate, so that might drag this on a little longer than usual on these solo shows. But nonetheless, it is just a baseball-only slate tonight. Got the Rocket Mortgage golf tournament this weekend. Not going to touch too much on that tonight, but at the end of the day, it's going to be pretty quick and short and sweet. I'll probably skip a few and then dive right into it. Got to apologize again if my voice, and I'm pausing more than usual because I am a little congested today. Don't know if I'm coming down with something or the air quality here in my area is actually not in good shape with the Canadian wildfires going on. A lot of outdoor activities have been canceled in the next 24, 48 hours. So trying to get through that, staying inside, and hoping everyone's staying safe as far as that is concerned, if anyone's affected by that. But powering through it nonetheless. So without further ado, diving right into it. Like I said, only 6 games yesterday in baseball, a handful of decent ones. My White Sox take a 2-1 L on an ugly walk-off wild pitch. They'll be in action tonight. We'll get to it in a second with Kopech on the mound for the White Sox, Ohtani on the other side of the bump for the Angels. But we can dive right into it. Like I said, we'll probably skip over a couple. First couple ones up here, 6:05 Eastern Time, Central Time, 7:05 Eastern Time. Cincinnati and Baltimore. You've got Abbott on the mound for Cincinnati, Wells on the mound, Tyler Wells on the mound for Baltimore. Abbott, start number 5 for him, still young in his career. 0 earned run for the first 3 starts of his season, of his MLB debut there. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned run, 10 Ks last time out, so obviously finally giving up some runs, but still only 4 hits, 3 earned, 10 Ks. So he has been cruising right along. But obviously this Reds team, after that big long win streak, have lost 3 in a row now. So they're staring down Tyler Wells, 2 earned runs in each of his last 4 outings, and this Orioles team is on a 3-game win streak. So honestly, as far as this specific game is concerned here, I know Baltimore got the win yesterday. I think this line is honestly pretty fair here. If I'd be a little concerned, obviously, of regression both ways. Honestly, you've got an 8.5 total with both these guys. Wells pitching real solid as a solid rotation piece for Baltimore right now, and then a young gun in Abbott who's been fantastic through 4 starts. So you got an 8.5 total. So kind of suggesting that one or both of these guys is or could be due for some regression here. So I'm not going to try and pick exactly which one of these guys it's going to be. You'd feel good about a Reds bounce back at some point after a 3-game losing streak after the stretch they just had, but nonetheless, their defense has not been good these last handful of days, and obviously their offense can only do so much. But at the end of the day, I think we can see some runs here in this one, so it's going to be a popcorn over for me out of this one, and I think we're going to see a little regression from at least one of these guys. So if you feel good about one of them more than the other, then maybe go for a team total if you feel that confident. But I'm not going to touch too much with this one. Let these streaks kind of pan themselves out a little bit with both these two teams, and let them kind of even back out a little bit after this. But I'll go lean towards the over on this one with some runs there. So next one up, same time. I'm going to skip over it. It's San Diego and Pittsburgh. Skipping over it because it was Yu Darvish when I was looking at this morning, scheduled to pitch. He has been scratching. Now it's Nair, who I believe is going to be a bullpen game for San Diego. Not trying to get too involved in that one with some late changes as far as that is concerned. Rich Hill on the mound for Pittsburgh. Not quite sure what to expect out of him. Rich Hill, 5 2/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs last time out. Padres, after having a nice little resurgence, 2-5 their last 7. Pirates ended a 2-game losing streak over the weekend, but now have lost their last 2. So another one that's just a little wonky. So I'm going to skip right out past that one. San Francisco and Toronto. Ryan Walker and Kevin Gausman for this one. Another one where you've got, I typically am not getting involved into these ones, but it's at least worth talking about because this is a solid matchup here. Going to be a bullpen day for the Giants there. Gausman, 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs in his last time out. Giants just took 2 out of 3 after snapping their long win streak, and the Jays are 4-1 their last 5, so starting to play some better baseball right now. But as far as Gausman is concerned, I don't know what to expect. I could see a little regression from Toronto. Their offense has actually been churning right along. Just took care of Oakland 2 out of 3 games. Their offense was really successful, I think, Saturday and Sunday. 7 and 12 runs for them offensively there. And both these teams coming off of a rest. Obviously, San Francisco's got a bit of travel, having been at home against Arizona. So as much as obviously a lot of people like Gausman, if you're interested in the Blue Jays, this line is crazy inflated. The opening number was much closer to minus 155, and now it's all the way minus 196. So I'm not saying I'm all in on the Giants today, but it would not shock me if Kevin Gausman is in for some regression today. And those 8 hits that he saw last time pile up a little bit, and the Giants actually push some of those runs across. So I'm going to give a slight lean to the Giants finding a way to do something here, but that's by no means anything that I'm in love with there. But don't be jumping right into that number because that one is a little out of hand there. Let's see. Milwaukee and the Mets is the next one up. This one, a lot of goofy pitching matchups from what I saw as far as this slate is concerned. T. Herron for Milwaukee, 6 outings, 1.53 ERA throughout those outings. Hasn't pitched the entire season. But in the past, I think he's 31, 32 years old. Didn't pitch at all in the majors last year. 1.53 ERA is not typically what he's used to. So at some point, there's going to be some regression if he continues to pitch in this rotation for the Brewers. Is it going to be tonight? I don't know because you obviously have a struggling Mets team right now. That's 1-6 in their last 7. David Peterson, in his own right, has not been good, obviously. This is his first start off of the IL in quite a bit, and he was very bad before that. So this one it is a little goofy, and obviously with the way the Mets are playing, with Peterson on the mound here and the numbers that he had before he went on IL, to see them at minus 145, they opened about minus 175. So I really am firmly leaning towards the Mets probably finding a way, but at the very least liking their offense to put up some runs. It might be tough to get some good odds on it. I see over 4.5 at minus 120, 125. So if you find anywhere that's offering over flat 5 at some plus money or anywhere near even money, that might be what I'm interested in this one, just because of that Herron regression. On top of the Mets not playing well, you've got a Milwaukee team that's 41-37. 3-1 in their last 4, just beat the Mets in New York last night. So this one's smelling a little goofy. The line has moved quite a bit. I trust the opening number a little bit more than this one. Might be a little corrected, but at the end of the day, I'm not sure what you get from Peterson. Maybe he gives up 10 runs. I don't know. Would feel good though about Herron regressing with a lot of these signals pointing that way. So maybe you don't want to trust Peterson. That's fine, but I do think the Mets put up some offense numbers against Herron tonight. So Miami and Boston, next one up. This one is in Boston. Sandy Alcantara, Garrett Whitlock. Alcantara, 10 hits, 5 earned runs in each of his last 2 starts. Did it 2 times in a row. Whitlock, 7 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs in his last time out. Red Sox, after a nice little stretch, 1-4 their last 5. Marlins took 3 out of 4 from Pittsburgh, struggling Pittsburgh this past weekend here. But you've got a struggling Alcantara for the most part all season long. He has had some flashes. So I'm at a spot where, it's not really indicating any type of bounce back. We have seen this over the last couple of weeks where, a spot where it's not really an indication that they're going to bounce back. That pitcher ends up actually coming in and putting a bounce back together. Seeing a total of 9.5, though, in this one with Boston as the home team. Miami's offense, they did win a couple of games in a row against Pittsburgh. Their offense wasn't anything special. Could see Boston's offense bounce back a little bit because they've been down a little bit here. But I'm not going to touch this one because at some point I think Sandy Alcantara is going to get a lot better here. limit these hits from instead of 10 a couple times in a row all the way back down to 5, 6 or something along those lines. So I'm waiting for it, though. I'm not going to try and force my way into this one. Maybe monitor Sandy a little bit more here. And as much as I think the Red Sox offense on any average day would be in for a nice bounce back here, you never know what you're going to get out of Sandy Alcantara right now. Like I said, he has had a few good starts, so I'm just going to avoid that one altogether today. Minnesota and Atlanta is a good young pitching matchup here in this one. Joe Ryan, Bryce Elder. Ryan, 9 innings, 3 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, 9 Ks last time out. So complete game shutout, only 3 hits allowed. Elder, 7 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks. His last time out. Braves obviously playing fantastic right now. 3-game win streak right now. Twins have been a little inconsistent, obviously, but treading water for the most part. They'll win 3 in a row, lose 3 in a row. They're exactly 500 right now. So I think with Ryan on the mound, and a solid Elder so far, I think this number is pretty fair with obviously Atlanta at home here. It's a tough one to get into, honestly. I don't typically like these types of swings where you've got the much better team up against a really solid pitcher, obviously, that's starting to turn some heads. So I don't quite know what to make out of this one. The fact that the total is 9, though, is definitely eye-opening if we're talking about a good pitching matchup there. So I would assume maybe one or both these guys is due for some regression if we're talking about a total of 9. Otherwise, that's just a total mind games joke of a number there. So I'm gonna go. I guess I'll lean towards an over on this one as far as stuff that doesn't make sense out of this one. Why are we looking at a 9 total when you've got Joe Ryan 8-4, sub-3 ERA coming off of a complete game shutout, and Bryce Elder is 2.4 ERA, 5-1 records. So something's a little wonky here. I think you could see some runs at least one way or another there. So maybe I guess I'll lean towards Elder being the guy that's due for some regression as opposed to Ryan. But after a complete game shutout, maybe he's a little gassed. So one way or another, don't be diving deep into the under just because you see 2 young pitchers that are sub-3 ERAs in that one. Houston and St. Louis is an interesting one to talk about here. Valdez for Houston versus Montgomery. Jeff and I talked about Montgomery and handful of losses. He's been better this month, starting to win a couple of games for St. Louis here. Obviously, Valdez, I've talked about, big fan of his. 8 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs last time out, 1 walk, 9 Ks. Montgomery, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run last time out. So he's been a lot better here. Cardinals just split with the Cubs, but they obviously need to get hot. They're at a point in their season where they can't wait too much longer. And Houston has been a little all over the place. Obviously had a rough stretch last week. Lost 2 out of 3 of the Dodgers, but the 2 losses they had were 1-run games. So very competitive against the Dodgers team who's starting to play better. So I'm not putting too much stake into that one there. It is a little concerning that Houston's not a bigger favorite with Valdez on the mound with the goofiness that as much improved as he is, Montgomery lately. The narrative is still how many outings they've lost. St. Louis has lost with him in there. So I don't think this is easy money here for Valdez and Houston. I think St. Louis could be in for a nice game here tonight, and we have seen Valdez have those regression starts, the opposite of a bounce back, the bad regression start there. So I'm not saying that's going to be a total regression start from him. I think Montgomery could keep things moving along, and maybe Valdez gives up a few there. So you've got minus 105 on the first 5 as compared to plus 100 on the full game. So kind of giving a little confidence toward Montgomery there as opposed to Valdez. So I'm going to lean towards Cards first 5 tonight with Montgomery on the mound against Valdez, against my guy Valdez. So Philly and the Cubs is another interesting pitching matchup. You've got Ranger Suarez and Jameson Taillon. Suarez has been fantastic this last month. 3 earned runs allowed over 26 innings pitched. Taillon a bit better this month. I've talked about him a lot, but still 3-4 runs consistently for the most part there. Maybe a good start here and there. But the Cubs, 9-2 last 11. They're playing some good offensive baseball right now. Phillies 2-1 over the weekend versus the Mets. But Ranger Suarez is commanding some respect on this one here, and a Phillies team that's playing better, obviously 40-37. I've been waiting for some Jameson Taillon bounce back here. And I think you're going to get some Ranger Suarez regression at some point here. So I'm almost leaning towards the Cubs tonight in this game here in Wrigley. not over the moon about it, but you got an 8.5 total with the guy in Ranger Suarez who's been fantastic. So I don't think it's as simple as him having another fantastic start and Taillon having another 4 or 5 earned run outing. I think the Philly money line would be a lot higher than that, a lot tougher to get into. So I am actually going to lean towards the Cubs winning this game outright. As far as that is concerned, looks like the first 5 in game total game money line are the same splits there. So I'm going to lean towards the Cubs getting the win tonight over Philadelphia. Pardon me. Detroit and Texas, another this one I'm probably going to skip past this one actually. Matt Manning, first outing since April. He's been on the IL for quite a while here, and Martin Perez, 7 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, or 3 runs allowed last time out. Total of 9.5 here. So I don't know if that's about Manning. I don't know if that's about Martin Perez, who obviously hasn't been anywhere near what he was last year. So I'm not saying I'm leaning towards the over on that one. But this one is a little wonky. The 9.5 is pretty steep here. Texas, after a nice stretch, just lost 3 in a row. Their offense has fallen back a little bit there. Detroit just put up 7 yesterday, so maybe they're in for a couple nice ones in a row while Texas bounced back. So I don't know. I'm torn on this one. I'm mostly just going to skip by that one and just have no interest really whatsoever in that one there. Probably for the most part. This number is a little goofy, honestly. I feel like you've probably missed the boat if you're interested in some Kansas City money lines here. They've gone back and forth the last 6 games, I think, so 3-3. But obviously, if you're playing the money lines there, you're making a profit there. Only plus 120 tonight against Williams for Cleveland, I believe, is making start number 2. But Singer on the mound for Kansas City has not been very good yet this season either. I could see him having a nice start finally. Don't know what to expect out of Williams. And like I said, I think you've missed – I shouldn't say you've missed the boat. Is it possible that they will win tonight? Absolutely. But if you've already looking back and you've seen this bad team, just like Oakland was and however many – a little different case because they won 6 in a row, obviously, but then they lost however many in a row after that. So if you're looking back and you say, oh, wow, this bad team has finally been winning some games lately – those were probably the games that you needed to jump into. So again, could they win tonight? Absolutely. I'm gonna let that train be on down the station and not really be too interested in trying to catch it there. Dodgers in Colorado, probably going to skip over a little bit here. Seabold on the mound for Colorado. I've obviously talked about the Colorado Rockies at home finding some more success here in the future of this season. However, in my experience, the Dodgers are a exception to that case, and they typically have some success in Colorado. So Kershaw on the mound for the Dodgers. Pretty tough to, unless you love Colorado, pretty tough to get into that one there. Minus 180 on the run line for the road Dodgers there tonight with Kershaw on the mound. So Dodgers playing a lot better baseball right now. So odds are definitely inflated. Colorado just took 2 out of 3 from the Angels. I know everyone saw them lose 25-1, but they did win the 2 games on the outside of that. So, you know what? It wouldn't shock me if Colorado did something goofy with these crazy numbers here. So I'm not touching the Dodgers, not trying to get into Colorado. But at the end of the day, don't be diving into minus 2.5 run lines with the Dodgers team. That typically does not work out when you're going that crazy and desperate to get into a game such as this. These odds are a little goofy. Yankees in Oakland A's. Brito, I don't know if it's Brito or Brito, honestly, still on the pronunciation there, but he was pretty good last time out for the Yankees. Up against Blackburn for Oakland, who since he came back has steadied their rotation just a little bit. 5 innings, 9 hits, 4 earned run last time out, so not fantastic. Start number 6, though, he's had some good outings, steadying them a little bit there, and then Brito, 2 hits, 0 earned runs over 5 2/3 last time out. But Yankees only minus 135 here in Oakland after a 2 out of 3, winning 2 out of 3 against Texas, and the A's having lost as many games as they have recently. It's a little head-scratching, to say the least. So I wouldn't be cannonballing too deep into things with the Yankees tonight. That one seems, could they win? Absolutely, but maybe a little Oakland A's team total. Maybe you love Blackburn and you think the A's are just the right side overall. I'd probably be a little more comfortable with the first 5 than I would the full game, honestly. But A's minus 108 on the first 5, maybe plus money. I don't know. There's some head-scratching stuff going on in there. It's a tough pill to swallow betting on the A's, but at least buyer beware on the New York Yankees tonight in Oakland, as far as that is concerned. So my White Sox in Anaheim tonight, Kopech and Ohtani, I mentioned at the start of the show. Would like the odds to be a little steeper if I'm interested in the Angels. Plus money on the run line is a little goofy there. But if you've been paying attention to Kopech, the walks the last couple of starts have been concerning, but he has been a lot better overall, and he's been pitching much more consistently. But those walks have been concerning these last couple. It was a little better last time out, I believe, as compared to 2 starts ago. But this White Sox team took 2 out of 3 from Boston finally over the weekend. Competitive last night. Offensively, still not there, though. So I'm nervous about their offense against Ohtani, admittedly, but at the end of the day, an 8.5 total is a little goofy there. So I'm not saying the White Sox are the right side here, but I don't think it's as easy as just firing away on this Angels team with Ohtani on the mound necessarily. I could see this one being a little goofy, and Ohtani, who has been really good lately, and a White Sox team that struggled yesterday offensively. It is concerning to me that he could absolutely mow them down. He had 12 strikeouts last time out. But the Angels are playing a little bit worse lately. They had a rough week against the Dodgers and Rockies. Lost 2 in a row against the Dodgers in a 2-game series. Lost 2 out of 3 to Colorado, despite the 25-1 victory on their side of things. And then only 2 runs last night against only 1 run against Dylan Cease, and then I had a wild pitch walk-off last night. So I would say at least beware of don't be cannonballing too deep into things with the Angels, but obviously take what I say with a grain of salt. They could win by 50. Who knows? Only a couple more left. This one is a very good pitching matchup, actually. Tampa Bay and Arizona, good game here. Bradley versus Gallen. Both these guys last time out were very good. Bradley, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 8 Ks last time. Zach Gallen, 7 innings, 1 earned. 7 innings, 1 earned in each of his last 2, actually. Diamondbacks had a nice stretch, but just lost 2 out of 3 to the Giants. And Rays have been going back and forth the last 6 games, 3-3. All of them at home, despite their fantastic home record there. So, as far as this game is concerned, you've got a Rays team at 54 and 27. Zach Gallen, 2.84 ERA, 9.2 record. So this one is a little tough. I could see this one going both ways, honestly. If you want to buy the dip with Tampa Bay, I could absolutely see that being the right side to do that with plus money here if you believe in Taj Bradley. But they are 20 and 17 on the road. Despite their record, they are 20 and 17 on the road. So I think this number is fair. I will lean towards them, though, because having considered that, I would respect the Diamondbacks if they're 140, 150 favorites with Gallen on the mound. So I'm going to lean toward Tampa Bay a little bit here. But if the reason these odds are exactly like this is because their road record is close to 500, then I can see it 100% there. So that'll be the last one because I don't have too strong of thoughts on this Seattle and Washington game. Mine is 230. Wookie Rookie of the Year. Wookie Woo is a rookie for the Seattle Mariners pitching tonight. 5 1/3, 2 hits, no earned runs last time out, so he was pretty good. And then Irvin on the other side. For the Nationals, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. 7 straight lost outings for him, though. Kind of being throw him into the mix of these ugly outings. Not necessarily his fault, but 7 straight lost outings for him. So I think that's why you're seeing, and we've talked about this Nationals team kind of falling down deep into the pit of despair. Just had a nice series against San Diego, though, for their credit. But the Mariners obviously treading water all over the place. I haven't been too interested in these Mariners games. Certainly not as a big favorite like this. I've had better spots with them as underdogs than big favorites like this. So that about does it, my friends. I am going to go ahead and get out of here. Like I said, quick MLB slate, and then we will be back tomorrow with some more baseball, obviously, probably some golf as well. I know it's a full-packed slate of shows tomorrow for the East Coast Sports Investors family. You'll have to stay tuned. I don't know exactly off the top of my head. I plan on being here about the same time tomorrow, though, with my friend Jeff Dawson. But aside from that, thank you all for stopping by. Thank you, Connor, for hopping in the chats. Hopefully we had some good MLB thoughts for tonight. As far as that is concerned, hope everyone's staying safe if they're dealing with any air quality like I am out here. Safe breathing, obviously, and keep everything clear. I'm not doing so well myself right now, but nonetheless, hope everyone's staying safe, and I will see you all tomorrow, and best of luck if you got anything going on tonight.